Hey, what's up everybody? HTG Brian back with some more LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga! This is Cloud City Free Roam! That's right, we're going to knock off that planet Bespin as we've, we kind of took a quick little detour here not long ago. We're going to relive that here in a second. We're also going to ring off a couple of trophy achievements, one called Greater Javin for completing the area of the galaxy. And we finally get that 10 billion stud trophy achievement, only one business in the galaxy. Now that may or may not come for you right now, or maybe you've already gotten it. It just depends on how your grindage went. We do have quick links down below in the video description, and keep in mind we're going to knock off a whole bunch of Kyber bricks, a handful of character tokens, a couple of ships, and a data card too. Now if you've been following along, we actually just finished up Tatooine Space, which if you blinked, you might have missed it, because it was simply just a Kyber Comet. Now we've turned that Kyber Comet into a stud comet, as we have officially returned. Actually, we just reloaded into the game, and because there's no Kyber Comet, it's turned into a stud comet. That was kind of a theory I had a while back, and it seems to have been confirmed via some of your comments in the chat. So we'll go ahead and get this all the way done because you know me, got to get them all. And to be honest with you, if I had not have gotten that Kyber / stud comet, I almost messed that up, I probably would not have got the old 10 billion. All right, you can see here, Cloud City, we have 1 of 3. What? Brian, why do you have 1 of 3 ships? Well, if you've been following along, we actually just got it in the last video. It was a requirement in order to progress and finish up the last area 100%. So we came here real quick and snagged this quick little ship, which is completing a thing called Cloud City Crasher. That's right. So we're going to relive this footage. If you followed along and you actually watched our Mos Eisley video, you can actually skip ahead to Kyber brick number 1, which is called Cloud Surfing. But if you haven't, you definitely want to follow along with this because it's important you get them all. All right, so here we are. We're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down. Now, again, we knew that we had to complete this challenge or puzzle in order to complete Mos Eisley 100%. So we obviously we scouted this out on our PS4 save and got it all figured out, and then recorded this on our PS5 Go. So we've gone ahead and targeted that, which is why we don't start right off on the landing pad there and start knocking off the collectibles that are a little closer. Again, this is previously viewed footage. If you've been following along, you probably recognize it because it was literally not in the last video, but the video before that. And it's pretty quick and simple. We just got to go over and use a grappler to get up on that ledge there. And then we got to melt some gold, which I almost botched that jump. I get to relive that all again. That's fun. And once we get up here, we just grapple, shoot, and collect. And then as soon as we get done collecting, it's actually going to transition right into our new gameplay, which I feel like I did a pretty good job. In fact, had I not have told you that I already played this, and this was from a previous video, you might not have even been able to tell. So we'll go ahead and collect it. It's going to ring off the mission complete. It's also going to give us a pop-up with the Y2-2400 Light Freighter. And once it's done with that, it's going to transition right into our map, which, like I said, watch, here it comes. 3, 2, 1. Oh, look at that. That was pretty good. I'm getting decent at my edits. All right, next up, we've got a Kyber brick across the way. It's literally up on the same type of platform, but on the opposite side of the area. So we're going to drop on down, and it does require us to get back up top again. Unfortunately, we couldn't make that jump across that gap. So we got to run down and around and back up. And then from up here, we should be able to use a scavenger with a glider to get all the way over there and collect it. Now, unfortunately, there wasn't a grapple point right there, which there probably should have been. Keep things consistent. But I guess to mix it up a wee bit, we got this nice ledge up here with the arrow pointing, kind of indicating that the scavenger and the glider is going to be needed here. So we'll step up to the plate, switch on over to Ray, pull out that glider, and hip hip hooray! That's right, we are out of there. Nice little glide across, and booyakashow, we got the first Kyber brick of the area called Cloud Surfing. All right, now, the next couple ones, I have to admit, I had no problem whatsoever while I was doing the scouting run However, I failed miserably while doing this. I was laughing, kind of yelling at my screen, saying, "What, am I bad at grappling?" Because I was missing the grapples. I would jump out towards a grapple point. It would give me the icon to press, but at the last second, it would switch to one next to it, and I would grab the wrong one. So just like right there, I was trying to grab that one in the front, and I seemed to jump off to the right side and grapple on the edge. It's really just a matter of placement and where you're aiming, and apparently I was really bad at it. But we'll go ahead and grapple this down, and look at that, we got a Kyber brick on the ground. Woo to the hoo! And now we're going to go right back up there, but in a different way. In fact, there's another one called Continued Cloud Climbing. Now, this is actually out of order. There's one later that we find called Cloud Climbing. And this is supposed to be like the sequel to that, but we went ahead and jumped a little bit out of order here. And again, it's quick to, or I guess it should be importantly noted. That's not quick. We don't have to be quick or slow about it. Should be noted, though, that we do not need to really complete these, for the most part, in a specific order. So if you do cloud climbing before continued cloud climbing, you'll be okay. However, there are some cases where some missions, puzzles, whatever, don't open up until other ones are completed. Usually we will go ahead and address those right away, kind of like what we did at the very beginning of this video, right? We had that Cloud City Crasher that was required for the last area that we did, and it had to be done. So anyways, moving along. Next up, we've got another Kyber brick. This one's actually hanging out along a lower ledge here, but it's up there, so we got to use the Force. We're going to go ahead and pull out a Jedi and a Droid. Now, I sort of forgot that I'm a little too low here. I tried to lift up old BB9, and the Force is just not strong enough with Vader. So I'm going to have to go ahead and get up on a ledge and reset this. Pretty easy stuff. There's, you know, oh, I almost had it right there. I thought maybe if I got a little momentum, I could do it, but no such luck. Really just got to get up on this ledge here, turn around, face him, grab him, lift him, and that should be enough to get up to the top. Toggle over to him, and booyaka shao. You should be able to swoop up that dark cloud Kyber brick. All right, we're making some pretty good ground here, guys. We're almost to number 5. In fact, we are. We're going to pick up a couple of rumors along the way. This will just help us with the map and sort of place some potential icons that aren't already showing. Save us some money, too, later for the rumorage. Although we're really to the end of that, so we don't need to worry about money too much. We got our big 10 billion. All right, under capacity. Now, I didn't do a great job of showing you the Kyber brick itself, at least not yet. However, this one does require us to find 4 fuses. That's right, fuses. And a couple of them are actually hiding in billboards or signs. So first one is going to be up on the ledge there. Got to shoot and plop out the fuse with the old grapple plug popper there. And, of course, we're going to grab it and slap it into place. There happens to be another one right around the corner from the door here, hiding behind some boxes. We'll go ahead and grab that and hopefully put it into place. Maybe. Third time's a charm. All right. Once we get both of them in there, it should open the door. However, there's 2 more fuse sockets, so we got some more fuses to find. Turns out there's one in this sign right behind us. We'll go ahead and pew that one and run it and stuff it in the socket. That's right. And then last but not least, we have to grapple up top and actually get to another one of those handles that rips down and reveals the fuse on the ground. Now, I sort of forgot the best way to do this is on the left side. You could probably do it from this side. I attempted to, but I failed miserably. Speaking of failing miserably, I actually took about 17 attempts to get all the way over and collect this fuse. So there is definitely an edit here. In fact, it's coming in 3, 2, 1 right now. In fact, that was a nice little jump. It was pretty easy peasy. I got so lucky with that grapple easy. All right, we got it. We drop it like it's hot, and we're going to go ahead and slam it into the socket. And I don't know why the camera spun me around like that. I got a little dizzy there. But we got it in place. It's going to open the door, and inside we should be able to go in and grab that under capacity brick after we smash this little chest. All right, good to go. Ooh, churros. I love me some churros. Seriously, though, I do. I actually love a good churro. All right, moving along. Next up, we've got ourselves a character quest. This one is called TechSpan Your Mind, and it's going to actually unlock E3PO. I'm not even 100% sure I knew there was an E3PO. But basically, we got to go around town, ask some questions, get some info. Eventually, it leads to a particular task that he feels he can help out with. And spoiler alert, he actually does. What it is, though, is pretty comical. So if you haven't already seen this, you're in for a little treat. A meat treat, that is. hey, it's like a step into a Slim Jim meat treat. Come on. All right, we just got to go around town and ask questions. And like I said, we get 2 or 3 pieces of info back. And eventually, like I said, it takes us over to a spot across the map. But we got to go all the way back first and, of course, recruit our guy. Now, once we get back over into the area we are currently at right now, there are some troopers sort of scanning the area. I did find it maybe a wee bit helpful to maybe not be good guys in this particular situation. As we know, Django's sort of neutral. He's not really looked at as a good guy or a bad guy for the most part. I mean, technically for us, he's a bad guy, right? But, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, he doesn't normally get attacked in games by the good guys. At least I don't feel like he does. Vader and stuff is another one that's definitely on the bad side. And so I highly recommend using Vader as one of your guys here. Just because you'll have to fight. If not, if they detect you're of the opposite side of things, they will raise their pew-pews and shoot at you-yous. So watch out for that. All right, we're going to go ahead and make our way up the stairs now. Finally, there's those troopers out on patrol. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and toggle over to Vader. And Vader gets the job done for me. I'm just going to go ahead and stroll right on by. Nothing to see here, troopers. Nothing to see. E3PO makes his way down the stairs, all the way around inside this nice little, I don't know if it's a laboratory or what we're going to call it, but he steps up to the old meat machine here. This is pretty funny. It's like, it sort of reminds me of like, fruit roll-ups kind of a thing, but it's instead of, because it's not really a Slim Jim. Slim Jims are kind of like long and, like a pepperoni stick. These are flat, kind of more reminiscent of like a fruit roll-up, but before it gets rolled up. So watch this. Oh, the meat yeet. Look at this. This is hilarious. And if you read all of the text, I skipped through some of it, but he says, "Oh no, I mean you no harm. Would you look at that? You fixed it." And he says, "What?" Oh, man. It was a mere dispenser of dried meats. And then he says, "You tell no one of this." I love it. So, officially done did. We're actually going to get the E3PO character token pop up there. But not before dispensing some more meats. Or yeeting some meats. All right, in this room behind us, there is a Kyber brick locked up. In order to get in there, we're going to need a key card. In fact, we got to find one of those little NES wireless controllers floating around. And we'll go ahead and get up close, scan that bad boy. And once we do, it should open the door and allow us to collect that key to the clouds. All right, so booyah ka-chow, another Kyber brick in the rear view. Now, keep in mind, too, peoples, we actually only have, 2 more space areas and 1 more planet before we start jumping into challenges, capital ships, and trophy achievement cleanup. I'm sure there's going to be some more things that'll pop up that I'll have to remind myself of doing. It's a long game, lots of stuff to get done, but as we are nearing the finish line, I won't complain much because it's been sort of bittersweet, really. This game has been awesome, but it's also, we're at 152 or 155 videos at this point in the playlist. That is crazy. I do believe it's taken the championship throne over all of our other games, including LEGO Dimensions. All right, Porch Light, pretty simple. Another Force tactic there. We're just going to switch to a droid and a character with the Force, lift him up, and of course collect that brick hiding behind some boxes above the door that we got that last character token, E3PO. All right, out in the middle of the area, you might have noticed a giant tower with some grapple points. We're going to go ahead and use our favorite grappler to get to the top or get up in the clouds, as the brick is called. Got to go ahead and jump to the top and then get your final jumps with the grapplage. I'm not sure why they don't allow you to just jump up there, but they didn't seem to allow me, so make sure you get your grapple on. All right, Droid Padawan. You got to say that funny, otherwise it doesn't actually hit its joke, right? It's like Padawan. This one is a little bit different in the sense that you have to be a character that can withstand, like, gas. So, luckily for us, we are Django, who has a mask on. And we also have some droids that can get it done, too. Once we get inside here, it's actually going to limit who we can switch to. I get a little ahead of myself. I actually needed to be a protocol droid first. Psych! I actually needed to be an astromech, but I got over to the side, saw the protocol droid, and switched it back. So, I can unlock this guy and move him down closer, but in fact, I can't get him onto the switch that he needs to stand on until I use an astromech. So, whap, 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 wow. Sorry about that. We'll go ahead and move our way to the other side of the area. It's actually in the very back corner, or back wall. We'll go ahead and solve this puzzle from the inside out using our favorite astromech, or whoever happens to be available for you. I don't know that I'd call BB9 my favorite. He's actually pretty cool. I like that, sleek, black, glossy look. But, I don't know, BB-8's just kind of, he's kind of my favorite, I think, astromech-wise. I don't know, R2's pretty awesome, too. I don't know, it's a tough choice. All right, solve the puzzle. It should open up the bubbles. The bubbles should have some pressure-sensitive switches under them. Feel free to go ahead and stomp on them by using the droids found on each of the side. You can actually hack into an astromech and a protocol droid, and that'll allow us to park them on those switches. Now, you're going to want to be a protocol droid yourself so you can split in half and stand on 2 of those switches. I don't see any boxes that you could lift with the Jedi, nor can you actually use a Jedi in here because of the gas. So all switches should be stood on, although my guy took a nice little break. Eventually we get them all green, and the fan kicks on, pushing that stanky stank out of here. And now we can go ahead and wait for this to pop open and reward us with our Kyber brick. Get out of there quickly, though, because it looks like it's going to squish us. All right, and we are out of here. Droid Potaphon done. Next up, we've got I Spy Cream. This is going to actually unlock Willow Hood. To be 100,000% honest with you, I don't know who Willow Wood is, or Willow Hood. Although I will say, this quest is actually kind of funny. Ooh, got a rumor. Oh, B3PO. Didn't we already get that one? I feel like we already got that one. All right, I Spy Cream. So we're going to have to escort him across, taking out a bunch of troopers. My only piece of advice for this one is have better aim than you're about to see. Normally you can kind of zoom in or look down scope, look down sight, aim down sight, ADS, however you want to say it. And it'll often lock on to the targets that you're needing to shoot, whether it's like a targeting like a bullseye, or whether it's a person, or whether it's, whatever it is. I tried to use that here, and it was just not working for me. As you can see, I'm like on and off and on and off. Mostly off, though, at this point, because it wasn't snapping to me. I do recommend headshots. Those seem to take down the baddies quicker. And although I'm, like I said, my only piece of advice is to have better aim than Brian. That's if you got that going for you, you're in good shape. Now, as per usual, if you find yourself feeling like, hey, I've got all the bad guys done, why isn't this progressing? Always use that compass in the bottom left to look for those red dots that'll indicate whether you have any baddies left or not. Now, keep in mind, too, that it does take a little bit of time for those guys to disappear from the compass once you take them down. Usually 2 to 3 seconds is all, but it's enough that it might throw you for a loop. Just be patient, take them all down, and eventually it should progress for you. I don't know what he's got there. That's like the world's most giantest coffee mug? Or is that like an ice cream cone? Is that what it's supposed to be? Listen, I am all about extra large blizzards. If you're not familiar with blizzards, it's a nice mixed treat where like, a fast food place called Dairy Queen mixes up ice cream with like Oreos and all sorts of stuff. It's like a giant, awesome, mixed up candy-filled ice cream treat. They're delicious. And I'm all about those extra large blizzards. That's what it looks like he's got. And this one is called I Spy Cream, right? It's supposed to be like, I scream, you scream, we all spy for ice cream, something like that. All right, I do make a quick pit stop over there to talk to that droid who gave me a rumor that didn't seem to give me any new information, which is kind of a bummer, but Same there, too. Oh, nope, Cloud City Climber. Although, wait a minute. Cloud City Climber? That one sounds familiar. I feel like we might have already done that. It's hard for me to remember, though, because I've not only done a scouting run, but I also did a recording run, and then I did an editing run, and then I did the quick links, too. So I've gone over this like 1,000 times. So the order of which, whether we've done it or not, it's hard for me to remember. All right, we've officially dropped off whatever it was, the giant ice cream scooper, perhaps? And by doing that, we've actually unlocked old Willow Hood. Not really familiar with you, but welcome to the team, sir. Anybody with some ice cream can be part of my team. You know what I mean? All right, next up we've got Bespin Blast. There are these two sort of like upper balcony areas. One of them happens to have the Kyber brick. We're going to go stand on the opposite one. The reason is there are 4 targets scattered throughout, and I found it easier to take on all 4 of them from the right side landing area. Now, you might find that there are some people standing in the way, or maybe in a device, so it might take you a couple of times. So the timer's pretty short. However, get all 4, and it should open the door and give you that Bespin Blast Kyber brick. All right. Man, my PC is taking flight again. I've never heard anybody comment one way or the other, like, yes, we can hear it, no, we can't hear it, but it is like right now going nuts. All right, next Kyber brick is called Between the Walls. This one's actually really simple. It's just up and around under a staircase. As you can see, I got a little bit distracted here and tried to go up the stairs, but it's down under it, and all you need is a force-wielding character that can pull out their saber and go ahead and rip it open. I don't think, can anybody else, nobody else uses a lightsaber other than Jedi characters, correct? I don't think any, well, I mean, obviously we've got like Sith characters, but you know what I'm saying, the Force-based characters. Nobody else in the game uses them, correct? I don't think I've seen that. I know Finn does for a minute in the movie, but like I don't think that happens in any of the characters, does it? Ooh, this next one, Switch Snitch. It's actually really simple, and you can actually just drop down on this ledge below and stand on a switch. But if you have a character with the Force out, you can actually push Force the switch. However, there is one of those little mouse droids with the Stormtrooper helmet rolling around behind you. Just be careful of that, because you might ring that off and it might not register right away. And later you might be like, where is that mouse droid? It's supposed to be here. But it might not be, because you might have already got him. I guess you could always check the tracker, though, too. But just be aware of that, because that is a thing that could happen. Next up, we've got another Kyber brick. This one's hiding in some silver bricks. So we're going to go ahead and pull out a villain character and get our yeet on. And let's see, I got to be careful. I'm actually trying really careful to not hit that mouse droid rolling by, because if I hit it, then I won't have the perfect footage to show you when the challenge video rolls around. So I was really concerned about that. And although we have a double whammy right there with a character token and a ship token, there goes that mouse droid again, we're going to run all the way over to this back corner, because there's a bunch of studs, including a bluesy, and we want that. Now look, that mouse droid was going the other way. Did you see that? It turned around and came back at me. Like, what's the matter? Can't you just leave me alone, bro? I just want to be left alone, mouse droid. He's about to roll by again. All right, we're going to step up to the plate here and talk to old Zuckuss. Zuckuss is going to tell us about his ship, the Mist Hunter, which in the last little excursion sort of got left behind, and we're going to go try and help him find it. The goal here is to get the ship, and in the process, we actually have to meet his old partner who apparently left him behind, and we have to pay him off. I'm not thrilled about this mission, but it's only 35,000 studs, so it shouldn't break your bank. But we do have to return to a place we haven't been in a minute, and that's Tatooine space. Now, the end game of this mission is actually on the planet itself. However, I'm not 100% sure that you can just skip these peoples and move down there. It's possible. You might be able to go right to the end game here, but not knowing if that was something that would work or not, I didn't want to like waste your time or accidentally not have that footage or whatever the case may be, right? Because if I'm recording, or worst case scenario, restart this whole level all over again. Think of all the stuff we've done already. Think about if I would have had to start that over just because I tried to take a risk and say it wasn't worth it to me. So we'll go ahead and talk to the two people floating around up in space, indicated by the little comet balloons with the exclamation mark on them. They should be blue and light blue. Little combo for you. Combo. Get up close and personal. Hit that icon indicator. For us, it is Suikle. And he's going to tell us most people land on the old planet. So we're going to want to go to Jundland Wastes. That's where we're going to find our next piece of info, which should lead us to the ship. And, of course, I have removed some of that travel time. So if it seems like I loaded a little faster than you, I did, because I edited it out. All right, we've got our boots on the ground here, and we're going to actually go ahead and make our way. So we've got Buddy standing there. You can see he's already here. I don't know how he got out before us. But we're going to turn around, and there he is over there. Quick little conversation, and he's going to basically just lead us across the sand. And again, what an amazing job the devs did. Look at, like, BB9 leaving the trail behind, right? And then also getting a little bit of that debris on me. Like, that's awesome. I know it's just a small touch. It doesn't really affect gameplay or stuff much, but it is just a nice little extra thing, you know? All right, now over here we got some raiders. Watch out for them. And because we are baddie, I don't believe they show any interest in us. If you're maybe a Jedi character or somebody good, perhaps, it might not be the same result. However, there's only like 4 of them, so it should be quick and easy eradication. Hey, look at that. We've got our ship. This wasn't here earlier. What? And it's Forlom. What are you doing here, bro? And basically, long story short, Forlom was not thrilled with Zuckuss. He left him behind. And as a result, he is willing to hand over the ship, but only if we pay him. And Zuckuss is broke, so we're going to go ahead and kick down with the 35,000 studs to pay for the Mist Hunter, which seems like a very reasonable deal, if I'm being honest. I mean, maybe the conversion rate from US dollars to studs is not what I thought, but boy, that seems like a smoking deal. After we claim the ship, it should allow us to talk to old Zuckuss, and Zuckuss should kick down with his character token as well. So, like I said, it's a double whammy. And there's another one of those mouse droids floating around out there. This game is trying to get me to hit those. I mean, I think it's really just trying to lead me to them and make things easy, but I'm trying to avoid them because I got a plan for a video later. All right, back to Bespin we go. As you can see here, we only got 10 of those Kyber bricks left. And only a couple of other items, so it should be pretty easy other than collecting those Kyber breezies. All right, again, some of that travel time has been removed. We're back to Bespin, Cloud City, and now, because we didn't get the Kyber bricks by the landing pad when we first got here due to some prerequisite stuff for the last level, we're going to go ahead and make our way over to the right-hand side of the pad and target a couple of bricks. This one's actually called Welcome to Cloud City. And we're going to use a familiar tactic. It's up above us on a ledge. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull this box over and move it right out, kind of right here. And it's going to give us a place to stand on. Now, after coming up short last time, I didn't want to have that happen again. So I gave myself a little boost, lifted up my astromech, and collected that Welcome to Cloud City. Now, I saw what appeared to be a bluesy over here. Actually, no, it was a rumor giver. Oh, look at that. He gave us a rumor. Wait, what? Maz's Castle? That's not right. I think he gave us the Willingen cable. It was just a display glitch. For some reason, it was showing one of the last ones we unlocked, too. All right, speaking of unlock, we've got another Kyber brick to find that's way out off the beaten path here. And if you did not have a rumor, or maybe had not already been out here close enough to make it pop on your map, this one would be easily missed. But it's pretty easy to get. It's just run along the ledge there. Don't look down. That's my only advice for this one. We'll go ahead and make our way all the way back. And we'll progress down the stairs, which about halfway down, we're going to find the Ugnaught. I've never really determined if I'm saying that correctly or not, so my bad if I'm not. If I'm Ugnaught saying it right. Boo, Brian, boo. This one's called the Final Beldon, and it actually requires us to roll around town and take down these giant floating, what look like brains. That's right, brains. It's like a zombie flick here, an 80s zombie flick. You guys remember those old Romero brains? They actually used to say, zombies used to say brains. That's so weird to me. All right, we made a nice little detour off the ledge there. Be careful, watch that step, because it could be a doozy for you. But we'll drop down and find the first Beldon there. In fact, there's a nice hot zone on your compass, indicated by the orange and yellow area. And basically, you just need to look around and find the big old brain floating around. They're pretty easy to find, if I'm being honest. So 2 up top, right down below where we started. So that's kind of a funny way to say it. 2 up top, down below. You get what I'm saying, though. 1 right in the middle. Then we're going to follow the waypoint marker, kind of in a similar path of where we went to that first ship token that we grabbed up on this ledge up here. And we're going to keep on staying up on this ledge. We're going to find a ladder in this back corner over here. I didn't even know that was there. It's all kind of hiding in the dock spot. Once we get to the top of the ladder, though, we should make it around the corner and see the next... Oh, there's a shadow. We got you, bro. We got you. I highly recommend the saber toss as well. As you can see, sometimes it hits at 2, 3, 4 times. And if you're shooting with, like, a bounty hunter, you might get 2 or 3 shots in. But honestly... those seem to miss a lot more than the saber does. So any of these attack or, birdie missions, anything like that, I highly recommend the saber toss. All right, so back to the old foreman here. And sniff, sniff, smells like the city is Beldon free. I don't know if he's like happy or sad, but regardless, we've actually completed that, and we should get ourselves a character token for the Ugnaught. That's right, we do. Woo to the who. All right, next up, we got ourselves a Kyber brick, I believe it is. We're getting close to that data card, too. I don't think we're there yet. I can't tell on my timeline here. Oh, no, it's this one right here, Refinery Repairs. All right, so there seems to be a couple ways to get in. I do believe you can split a protocol droid and go to the left of where we are now and make your way down a path and then sneak in the side door. But in our case, we're actually going to smash these boxes to the right, build up an astromech panel, and just go ahead and solve it from the inside out. Once we get that done, it should open the door for us. And then inside, guess what awaits? It's a Kyber brick. It's a Kyber brick, y'all. Where's it at, though? It's in here somewhere, I promise. All you have to do is stand on the 2 switches. It should open the far right door. And I feel like they've reused this room quite a bit. I feel like Bespin doesn't have very good architects. I feel like they're very limited on what they can build because we keep seeing the same types of laboratories. Remember earlier I was saying, I don't know if this is a laboratory or not, but we saw another one. So that's like the 3rd one. Clearly not as much choice available in floor plans. All right, moving along. Cloud City Climber. Remember earlier we had the Cloud City Climber Continues, I think is what it was called? Cloud City Climbing. I don't remember what it was. Regardless, I believe this was the prequel. That's right. And we're going to go ahead and use our favorite grappler to get up and around. Once we get to the final handheld here, we're actually just going to jump straight up and plummet to our doom, which is going to allow us to fall right through that Kyber brick and collect it. Now, you might be able to use the Force with a Protocol or Astro Droid and get them up there too, but I didn't try that. I just went the old grapple method. And all right, so earlier, you probably remember we dropped down and, well, we're not going to go that one yet. Psych. We're going to go up. That's right. So we're going to go up first, up where that Beldon was. Not the Belgian, not Gray, the Beldon. And up top, where we might notice a little gold targeting symbol behind us, too. That's for a Porg. And I know I've mentioned it a bunch, but we will be back for those Porgs, the Wookiees, and all the other challenges in their own special videos. All right, here we go. We've got the Willing and Cable puzzle here. This one is kind of tricky. It requires an astromech droid to initiate the power sequence, and then it kind of just goes on its own. And what it wants to do is make it all the way to the next station, which happens to be another astromech panel. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually build up the bouncing bricks, which you have to stand in that circle and build them. You can't build them really close up next to them. You got to stand in that designated spot. And we're going to build it to the left first, and then to the middle. That's right. To the left, then to the middle. You can see the power slowly makes its way through there. Once it does, you're actually going to want to take it out. Now, I was having a hard time shooting it, so I get up close and personal and punch its lights out. And then we're going to make another build to the far left side. This will allow it to travel through that final pass over here. It's going to loop up and back to the right. And now I got ahead of myself and I built it to the middle again, but really I should have built it to the far right because it's actually going to open up this astromech panel. I'm going to have to solve the puzzle from the inside out. It's going to start that electricity all over again, but from a different route. And I did mess this up, so there is an edit here, but good news for yous, it doesn't show the mistake. I'll talk about it. You'll see when it happens, but you don't actually have to wait through the mistake. So start off by hacking the terminal and then building to the far right. Then we are going to build to the middle. It's going to make its way up and then down through that middle piece. And right about here, I smash it, and I built it to the far left. You can see the edit there. But instead, I'm going to build it to the right, and this should connect it and opens the door, giving us that willing and cable Kyber brick. All right. We're getting up there in those bricks, too. Like, there are quite a few left, but, like, not that many, really. I mean, we've got over 1,000, right? I think it's going to show us here in a second. We got, like, almost 1,100, probably. Ooh, 1062. Pretty sweet. All right, that porg, you guys can choose if you want to nail it now or come back later, but we're going to save that for another video. And, all right, we were fighting those Belfins earlier, or whatever they were called, the big giant floating brains, and we might have noticed that there was a Kyber brick down below that we avoided intentionally. I thought about doing a double whammy and, like, jumping down there and grabbing it, but I didn't. Now, that's a pretty tricky jump there, and if you happen to miss it, just know that there are some boxes and things you can lift up your characters with in order to just grab it like we would normally grab with a brick that's, you know, up there, but not way up there, right? Just grab a character with a force and a droid, lift them, collect it. All right, next up, we've got Secret Shopper. These are down below. We're going to go to some more of those really different-looking laboratories. All right. We've got these little areas here that seemingly are the only option for floor plans here. Look at that. Imagine that. So this one's a little bit different. We actually have to use a box to lift it up with the force and put it on a secret switch that's hiding above the door entrance. Look at that. Drop it like it's hot. It opens the door. Swoop up that Kyber brick. And inside, there's some more studs. We are almost, in fact, we're getting pretty close. In a minute here, we'll actually take a little bit of time to grind and finish up and actually get that trophy achievement for, what is it called? Only one galaxy in the business, I think is what it's called. And it's stud making. That's what it is. All right, hey, we've got our data card. The Bespin Cloud City data card is actually hiding behind a wall that needs a little bit of help from a breaker blaster. So we're going to go ahead and get up close. Give it the old cha-cha-cha-cha-cha. And booyakashow. Now we just need a grappler to get out there. I'm going to use Django because he's got that jetpack to help us get a little bit further across that gap. And, of course, collect it. And we only have one more of those. Boy, in that next planet video, we're going to probably have a couple of trophy achievements ringing off for us, right? We've got certain things that we've already completed, like races and things. We got more coming up. So, speaking of more, we got another room we got to check out. Let's see if this one's any different. It is not any different. It's basically the same thing. Now, there is a password in here. The password is... We're not ready to grab that yet, though. We actually have to solve this other puzzle first, which is going to yield us a Kyber brick. So, I'm going to go back into my map here and tag here. There we go. Let's make sure I got the right one. And, of course, you're going to want to smash and rebuild the old protocol droid terminal here. Once it's up and running, you're going to need somebody who can use it. So switch on over to 3PO or somebody of that nature. And, of course, we're going to hack another protocol droid inside. And what we need to do is destroy all the boxes blocking this puzzle solution. So what that is there is the solution for how we need to match this wall over here. It starts off by hitting the first button on the left twice. Now we're going to skip the second button altogether. The third button we're going to hit once. And that's going to go ahead and place that green light at the top. Now the fourth one we're going to skip and go right to the final one, which we're going to hit twice. So it should be 2, 1, top, 1, 2. I know I said that really awkwardly, but... Oh, and look at that. B3PO had not been done, so I hadn't completed it yet. So, answered my own question. All right, inside where we collect that Kyber brick is going to be a password terminal. We're going to go ahead and get our hack on and get that residence closet password. And we're going to go ahead and make our way out of here and go collect that right now. You know, I thought about just labeling that like get password and then coming back to it later, but really it's not very far from where we are. We actually just have to run up the stairs. And remember where that ladder was? Yeah, that one that was hiding in the dark. We actually go to the door just before it, which is right here. And there's that ladder. You can see, whoop. And inside we're going to need a villain character to hack this terminal and get the doors opens. And inside it's called Stuck in the Clouds. This one is a little bit different. Not really. It's pretty simple. We'll go ahead and make our way inside. And once we get in there, we actually need to yeet a thermal detonator at the silver bricks. That's going to go ahead and give us some bouncing or buildable bricks over on the right-hand side. And once we get those available, we can actually build up a password or protocol droid terminal. And because we have just collected said password, we can switch back over and get our hack on. And, of course, we're looking for that residence password, right? The residence closet. There we go. Residence closet. Punched in. Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop. Password accepted. All right. Look at that. Yes, fresh air. Oh, I can't imagine being stuck in there. Hopefully he didn't get done just having like a Thanksgiving dinner or something, because you know how that can be. Be pretty aromatic. All right, we are out of here. We're going to switch on back to our favorite, Django. And I noticed I'm pretty close to the old Studdage trophy/achievement. So I'm taking everything out. And I honestly thought it was going to be like 2 or 3 things. And then I kept shooting. And then I was like, no, okay, this thing then. But just watching it add up, I'm like, oh, it's going so fast. It's going to be so easy. And then I'm like, no, okay, gotta shoot. Let's take out this sign. Sorry about that, badass. This sign. I'm getting so close. And get ready for it. Get ready. See, I thought that was it. Nope, not yet. And we're almost there. I think I actually have to take out a few more things right along the ledge here. And ready for it. Can I get a bling? Booyaka show! Only one business in the galaxy. All right, we've been grinding away for that one for quite a bit. It's good to have that one done dead. All right, back to where we were a minute ago, where we got that password, and you might notice old Lobot standing here. Lobot's got us a little task. It's called Womp Ratatoille. And basically, we need to go get some of those Womp rats and bring them back so he can make a good stew. Gross. I'm not interested in any kind of vermin stew, if I'm being honest. Like, you know, no shrew stew, none of that. No mouse-a-tooey, none of that. I'm not interested in that. We are going to have to return to Tatooine, Jundland Wastes. Again, we have removed some of that travel time to make this video a little bit easier on the eyes. And, well, in the time, for that matter. And here we go. We've been here a handful of times now. In fact, I think we had to come here for a password a long time ago. Then we had to come back here for the mission itself, or all the missions in the area. And then we had to come back here for another puzzle or quest in this particular area. So what I mean by that is for Bespin. We had to already come here for a Bespin mission. So this is twice. This is the twice time. All right, we're looking for the big rats. And, of course, I highly recommend using the Saber Toss versus the Blaster. And, of course, you can use whatever you want. It's not a requirement. But, you know, the Saber seems to follow and maybe do a little bit more damage than the Blaster bolts. Now, keep in mind, too, there is that weird cooldown in between doing damage and when they can be damaged again. So you'll do 25 damage with a shooter, with a blaster, saber, whatever it is. Maybe you get up close, personal, punch him. And then it takes like 3 to 5 seconds, almost always, before it'll let you damage him again. Now, the next Womp Rat is kind of in a dangerous place if you're like us and you're trying to avoid those mouse droids. I'm telling you, this game is just trying to mess things up for me. And I do a pretty good job of being aware. So on the compass, I can see a red dot that indicates where this Womp Rat is. But I can also see where the old mouse droid is. And I can see that it's not anywhere close to me. And I'm trying to keep my back to it because I don't want to yeet that saber in his general direction and have it accidentally lock on and take him out. That would be the worst. Because again, I'm trying to save that footage for when I want to collect it, not accidentally. And, you know, we're getting close to that. It's almost there. In fact, I'm really impressed with the lack of mistakes I've made thus far. Like, I haven't had to go back and revert a bunch of times. There's been once or twice, and the game actually had a little mishap at one point where it actually, it wasn't my game. It was the hardware that I was using to record it. So it failed on me, and I had to have an exchange with the company and get a new device and all sorts of stuff. And that happened like 2 weeks in or 10 days into this project. And that was like 100 videos ago, at least 100 videos ago. I think we were only like 7 or 8 videos in at that time. So 140 videos ago. And I'm feeling pretty good about this overall playlist. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it or found it useful as well. You know, we started this in April, and we're actually in well, not December. It's November. It's November. I'm ahead of myself here. It's not quite December yet. But the plan is we will be wrapping this up middle to end of December, which is crazy. I mean, almost a full year worth of work. Now, we could have done it a lot faster. We had our live streams and other things too, but ultimately had a lot of fun stretching this out, making it a big, long project, and hopefully you guys have enjoyed it too. All right, Womp Rat number 4. So we had 2 in the first area off to the back corner, and then we've got 2 in this area over by the, what is it, the Scarlac Pit? Starlac Pit? Snarlac? Whatever it is. The big thing in the sand. Snarlac, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Now, the last rat is all the way down. You know, we've been down here a couple of times. We had to take out a couple of biggies, some baddies, and some things down here, right? We even had a Kyber brick on the ground of a carcass of a giant, I don't remember what it was. It was something big, though. And look at that. He's basically right. Oh, there's the carcass in the background right there. So we're right where we've been before. And that is number 5. So once you collect that, it should say, would you like to return? And you're going to want to say yes. Now, it is possible that your game might do a weird thing, just like ours is about to. Look at this. Are you sure you want to leave? I'm not exactly sure why it said that, but it actually did that on both my PS4 and my PS5 Go. So it's a consistent display glitch, and I'm not really sure why. All right, but regardless, Womp Ratatoille is done diddy, and we should get, Lobot is now officially ours for the taking. So we've got 1 Kyber brick and 1 ship left, and the Kyber brick's actually called Target Troubles. This actually may be the most difficult Kyber brick in the area. I won't say ever, but in the area. The reason for it is that we actually have to make our way all the way over. Oh, looks like I made a little boo-boo there with the map-a-rainy. I should have edited that section out there. I was scouting ahead, you guys. I was scouting ahead. It's like, okay, so I got to go there, and my other one's there. Perfect. This ended up being exactly how... whoops, forgot to edit that out. But back to the target troubles. This one actually has a timer, and we have to take out a bunch of targets. And it sounds easy enough, right? Those targeting ones are pretty simple. However, the targets actually have obstructions blocking them, and they sort of unlock as the timer goes. So I've got a nice little trick for you. I don't know how well it'll work. I tried using the push force. I tried doing all sorts of things in my PS4 Go. The way I found it to be the most successful is to work the bottom ones that are available first versus waiting for a whole left or right or middle to be available. So basically hit the bottom ones first, right? All the lower ones first. If you can, hit the next one up if it's available. But just continue working your way around in a circle. And if you can, try to stay on the short side. As you can see, I went the long way around at the end there spinning, and I should have turned back and gone the other way. So again, I know that happened really fast. It's pretty difficult. Stick with the lowest ones or the most open ones first, right? Don't wait for the left side to get all the way open and take out those 3 and then go to the middle because they're all available. You probably won't be able to get it done in time. So lowest first, and then work your way up as they become available. All right, last but not least, we have a ship token hiding in here. We've got some troopers we got to scroll by, so we're going to go ahead and do it with a baddie, and then switch on over to Vader at the terminal. go ahead and follow the prompts here for us. It was left, right, down, down. Yours is almost certainly going to be different than that. Once you get that completed, you're going to go ahead and see the door open, and in we go. This one's actually pretty simple. It was actually confusing for me at first. I wasn't sure what I was supposed to do. But the best way to explain it is you literally pull this switch, and then you just hide for a minute. Watch. Vader actually goes to sleep. He takes a little nap. So as time goes on, those bars remove themselves, and you got to wait till it gets all the way to 0 to that final bar to be removed. So I'm just going to hide behind this little barrier here and watch. Vader's animations become quite comical as he's like, look at him. He's got his hands. He's like, oh, this is easy. I'm not even having to do anything. Let's just maybe just take a little nap. Yeah, it's a little nap. No big deal here. I think I'm sounding more like Bane than I am Vader. Anyways, once that timer gets to 0, it should open up all of those force fields and reveal that chip token. All you got to do after that is simply walk up to it and collect it. And that will be it for Bespin, just leaving Bespin space. And then we've got Maz's castle over on Takodana and Takodana space. And that's going to wrap it up for the actual free roam planets and space areas. Now, of course, yes, we have other things to do, capital ships and stuff. Now, here's a good question for you guys. As a player, as we collect that and get that greater Javan trophy achievement, Bespin Bruisers done did. As a player, though, when you get through, like you've been following along all the way, right? We're almost done, right? We got all the collectibles, right? Are you going to finish the game to 100%, or are you going to finish the game to get all the trophy/achievements? Because that is a difference. Now, as you can see here, we get 23, 23, 1, 1, 3, 3, 5, 5. And that's going to wrap it up for this. But I want to know, guys, let me know. Are you going to do all of the capital ships, even though you don't need them all? Are you going to get all the Kyber bricks, even though you don't need them all? And do you want me to guide you to all of them? Let me know down below. As always, guys, until next time...